Come on in, come on in. Put a one in the comments if you can hear me clearly. Come on in, come on in. Happy Feminine Friday. Happy Feminine Friday. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I hope that y'all are well. Finish sending this out. Hey, and let me know where you're watching from. Hello, hello. So, I have news, but before I start this live, y'all, I want to get this live to at least about 500 likes before I start talking about the gift that I'm giving y'all today. But first and foremost, let me let y'all know this is going to be my last time going live on TikTok. Starting Monday, you will find me on YouTube, and you will find me more so on Instagram, and you will find me more so on my Facebook profile. So, the first thing that I need you to do is click the link in my bio and go and subscribe to my YouTube channel because that's where I'll be going live from this point on. Okay. The second thing I need you to do is go follow me on Instagram because I'm going to be dropping some new things all up and through my stories. I normally don't do a lot, but I'm doing better. I'm going to do better. And I am going to have something special for my subscribers every month on YouTube. So make sure that you go over there and you subscribe. If you're a paid subscriber, you will get a private session with me every single month as a community. So it'll just be for us. So make sure that you go over there. But before I leave TikTok, right? I am going to give you a gift. And the gift I'm going to give you today is this live. And this live specifically, I'm going to be talking about how it's time to evolve. And I'm going to teach you how burning your old self, your old identity, activates wealth. And what I'm going to do for you today is I'm going to give you 7 steps and a bonus so that you can do this. So if you've been wanting to activate your feminine energy for real and you're serious, consider this my gift to you as my last live on TikTok. Okay. Hey home team, I see you, Nola. So click the link in the bio, go over there and subscribe to my YouTube channel because that's where I'm going to be going live from starting Monday. And then also make sure that you go over there. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these likes. And make sure that you uh, get over there and subscribe to my newsletter. If you're a woman leader, if you are a woman leader, make sure you click the link in the bio and get access to the magnetic newsletter. But this is the next thing that I asked. So I asked for you to, go and subscribe to my YouTube and all that great stuff. But this is the last thing that I asked you to do on this last live that I'm going to be hosting on TikTok. I ask you to share this with every woman that you know right now who needs to know what it takes to activate her feminine energy. I am going to give you all 7 steps. I'm going to tell you the 7 things I did that put me in position to lose 100 pounds. I'm going to tell you what I did that put me in position to be able to build my 6 figure plus business from the ground up without hustling. I'm going to tell you what I did to support myself in becoming a digital nomad. I'm going to tell you what I did because there is 8 specific things that I had to learn and do within myself that helped me to activate my feminine energy and put me in a space to where I'm able to live how I live currently. So I ask you to share this with an amazing woman. Don't be cheeky, like they say in my because I'm from New Orleans. Don't be acting cheeky. Don't be acting cheeky with this information. If the Most High gave it to me to give to you to share, then who are you not to share? Who are you to gatekeep information that was given to me by the Creator that I choose to give forward? So make sure you share it with somebody. Don't be self centered. Don't be self centered. Okay. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Elle Antoinette. I'm a feminine leadership strategist. And what I do specifically is that I support my amazing clients who are ambitious strategists. And what I do specifically is that I support my amazing clients who are ambitious and doing the following. I support them in embodying feminine leadership, which looks like them achieving emotional mastery, which looks like them achieving sustainable success that aligns with their feminine design. And it also looks like them activating their magnetic influence. One of the things that I think women really need to understand about themselves is that you're extremely magnetic, and the things that are in your life reflect the things that you have called into your space. And so if you don't like the things that are in your space, or you don't like the things that are in your life, you have to hit the reset button on your magnetism. And so I'm going to support you in that. I have several courses that can support you in that. My work has supported my clients in going from 5 figures to 6 figures, and 6 figures to multi 6 figures, as well as, like I said, I built a 6 figure plus business from the ground up myself without hustling. I used to be a former burnout, people pleasing hustler. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Who got so sick to where I was hormonally imbalanced that they were telling me that I would have to take medication and listen to what they say to get my womb together. And guess what? I got to be able to get my womb together without having to listen to anything they said. I listened to my creator. So when I tell you I speak about alignment, when I tell you I teach about magnetism, when I tell you I can show you how to guide yourself back to where your core is so that you can create the life you truly desire, I'm really not new to this. I'm very true to it. So I am my first client, and I have a track record over the years of helping hundreds of women and supporting hundreds of women. Okay. So my gift to you, as this last TikTok, like I said, make sure you go and you subscribe to my YouTube channel, because that's where I'm going to be going live from this point on. Make sure if you're a woman leader, you sign up for the Magnetic newsletter, okay? But today we're going to be talking about, I'm going to help you burn down your old self. I'm gonna help you rise like the phoenix that you're supposed to rise as. Okay, thank you so much. And so I'm going to support you in actually getting that done. So if you've been wanting to activate your feminine energy, you want 2025 for you to be operating at the fullness of who you are as a woman, I'm going to give you those steps to do that. Okay. All right. So all I ask too is save your questions towards the end, because I promise you I'm gonna answer while I'm on. I'm gonna answer all y'all questions before I get off TikTok. Okay. So hold your questions for me. You can ask me whatever in the 5 key areas of wealth. If you don't know, or if you haven't been here before, you'll hear me say all the time that wealth is not money, because it's not. Wealth consists of 5 pillars that I teach. So when we're talking about building generational wealth, and I support my clients in becoming magnetic, towards basically a wealth attracting force, is what I support them in becoming. This is what I'm speaking of. Number one, I support them in the area of increasing financial resources. Financial resources looks like you being able to live the way you want to live, be able to fund your goals, your ideas, and the things that you want to do for your life, right? And to be able to also take care of the things that you need to take care of and put things up the way they need to be put up, right? The second aspect is emotional fulfillment, because just because you have financial resources does not mean that you are emotionally fulfilled. Emotional fulfillment looks like emotional regulation, it looks like awareness, it looks like processing, it looks like emotional intelligence. And these are the things that I support my clients in, because I teach women how to become a master of their emotions. My clients don't play toxic games. My clients don't allow you to pull them into your chaos. My clients know how to pull you into their peace. You understand what I'm saying? So when I say emotional fulfillment, these women don't get tricked out of their money, because they understand that the fulfillment comes from themselves. They're not seeking external fulfillment. Okay. That's what a lot of people are doing, which is why they're never really fulfilled. The third part of generational wealth that I support my clients with is time freedom. The thing is this: you can't be pushing the whole thing about, make sure you're not wasting your time, make sure you're not doing this, and your children are not seeing you take back your time. Your children are not seeing you own your own time. Your children are seeing you always be late. There's such a thing from having time freedom and having autonomy over your time. So that is something that is a principle as well as generational wealth. The fourth one is healthy relationships. Okay. You will hear people talk about relationships, but healthy relationships are for wealth building. Toxic relationships are bad for your health. And that is science. If you allow yourself to be stressed out in a relationship, you literally can become sick. And it's also a fact that marriage initially is a wealth building tool. That's what it was created for. So relationships are for riches. And if you don't have rich relationships, if that's not your experience, if your relationships position you to be in poverty or be in the poorhouse internally or externally, we need to do an evaluation, because you are not building generational wealth. Okay. So healthy relationships. And then it also looks like growth and purpose. This looks like you are elevating professionally, spiritually, emotionally. Okay. You are actually elevating in the space of growth and purpose spiritually. So that's really important. So we're talking about building generational wealth. We're talking about those 5 pillars. Okay. So when I say my clients are wealth attracting forces, yes, they attract financial resources. Yes, they position themselves for emotional fulfillment. Yes, they attract positions that put what they attract income that puts them in position to be able to buy back their time. My clients have been able to leave their 9 to 5s. Okay. And then also, my clients have also been able to attract the healthiest relationships that they have desired for themselves, as well as grow spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. And these things are very vital and extremely important as a woman, especially if you are a woman who has multiple roles. If you are a woman who is a caregiver, if you are the oldest daughter, if you are a mother, if you are a sister, you are a friend, you have a responsibility, and your life is being looked at, whether you realize it or not. The people who are coming behind you are watching you. What type of legacy do you really want to live and do you want to lead? I'm gonna say this part. I was not gonna say this, but I'm gonna say this part because it just popped up in my head, and I'm gonna ask the Most High and the Holy Spirit to guide me through it as I say it. And this is the only thing I'm gonna say about this, y'all. And put in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. Y'all know the dancer that was married to the woman, and the dancer unalived himself. He was a very popular dancer. I think him and his wife used to dance together and all these things, right? So it was a really big deal when he unalived himself. If you know who I'm speaking about, do me a favor and put that in the comments for me. You can put the person's name in the comments. The person had a name that was similar to an app, right? So this person was married to this woman, and I just saw an article. Thank you. Okay. I just saw an article that was put out that this man's wife or his widow is putting all his information out there, all these things. Now, initially, when she came out, she said that nothing was wrong with the man. She didn't see this coming. She didn't see any of these things when he unalived himself, right? I remember that. And all of a sudden, there's now coming out a tell all book about how this man was all these things, a drug addict, and all these other things. The reason why I'm bringing this up is this was what you need to remember and understand as a woman. Okay. Men are the creators of the legacy, but women are the keepers of the legacy. Be very careful who you marry out here in these streets. And I'm talking to men and women with that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Be, Men are the creators of legacy. You understand what I'm saying? Because it is their seed that brings forth legacy, and it is us that carries and brings forth inheritance. You understand what I'm saying? So men create the legacy, but women keep the legacy. And understand that people have very different definitions of creating and keeping. So be very careful out here while you are out here building your lives and you are out here connecting yourself to people. Okay. Women are legacy keepers. Women are legacy keepers. Men need to think about the legacy that they want to create, and who they creating with, and women need to consider the legacy they want to keep by dealing with specific type of men. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I wasn't even going to get that heavy in that, but I'm just going to tell y'all, be very careful. Be very, very careful who you attach yourself to, because you never know how things would play out. Okay. Be checked. I know everybody out here checking for cash flow. Okay. I know they teach you to check with these men for cash flow, and check with these women. Check for the character. Character never lies. Character never lies. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's get into how you're going to burn down your old identity, and how 2025 is going to be the year that you activate your radiance, you activate your inner muse. Okay. I did a live the other day on are you a muse or amusement, and that video didn't upload to YouTube, right? So that is going to be my first actual YouTube video that I do on Monday. So make sure that you are subscribed over there, because I am going to come back with are you a muse or are you amusement? You understanding the difference so you can operate accordingly, okay? For 2025. So you can make sure that you're attracting what it is that you really, really want. So again, let's go ahead and get into it. It's time to evolve. How burning your old self is going to activate the wealth that I just got through explaining for you. That looks like emotional fulfillment, financial resources, healthy relationships, time, freedom. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these lights, and growth and purpose. Okay. So this live is going to be for women who really want to activate their feminine energy, because it's going to require these 7 things. And the reason why you need these 7 things plus the bonus I'm gonna give you. So technically 8, and the number 8 represents new beginnings. So specifically, the reason why I'm going to give you these steps is because it requires you to do internal work before you can elevate your external experience. A lot of people on this app will tell you, on these apps will tell you, oh, you need to level up, you need to do this spiritually, mentally, emotionally, whatever the case may be, but they're not really telling you how to do these things. So I'm going to break down these 7 things that are going to support you. But first, let me get you to get some understanding about the feminine. Okay. As a feminine leadership strategist, right? One of the things that I do is that I guide women back to their core. And I guide women back to their core using 3 key measurements. I use scripture, science, and psychology. So everything you get from me is going to come from scripture, science, and psychology, because I want you to be able to go and look these things up for yourself, because I think it's high time that we stop accepting what people tell us as truth instead of us actually going to research these things for ourselves. I think that's very important in this season, because as you see, AI is very tricky. And if you are not doing your research, if you are not seeking for yourself, you will be fooled out here in these streets. And I, not everyone, but I myself, I have spiritual ethics. So I have a code that I have to follow in accordance to my assignment with the Most High. So I'm not out here trying to scam you. But everybody don't have spiritual ethics. And what you need to understand is that you need to make sure that you're taking your spirituality, your mindset, your mental health, your emotional health so serious, because that you are not investing into programming and different things that are literally trying to disconnect you from your feminine core. There are systems that have been created out here to disconnect you from your feminine energy and your feminine source, and that is by design. That's what you got to understand. It's all by design. You're not dealing with people, baby. You're not dealing with government, my love. You're dealing with principalities and darkness that's bigger than what you know. So you have no idea. In the way that you align and fight those systems is that you become in alignment with your spiritual core. You get in alignment with who you truly are, so you are secure enough to be able to speak your mind, and secure enough to be able to walk away from things that are not designed to serve you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because a lot of women really struggle in that area. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into about the feminine. No one can teach you how to be feminine. You are feminine by design. You just need to be guided back to your core. Okay. In Romans 12 and 2, it literally tells you not to be conformed of this world, but to be transformed by the daily renewing of your mind. And what has to happen now is that you need to reprogram your mind about what you think about being a woman. You need to reprogram your mind about everything you think you know about this reality and about this world if you want to change your life. Everything you thought you knew, you need to be like you don't know nothing, because that is really the truth. Even in all the wisdom that you may gain throughout your journey, you still will not know anything in comparison to what all is really happening around you. But what you can be control of is self, which is why self-control is a fruit of the spirit. Because you cannot control anything else outside of self, but you can be in high level control of self. And when you are in high level control of self, you can manifest a mastery of things. And you can do this because you sit on the frequencies of love, peace, and joy. And those are true vibrational states. But bigger than that, those are spiritual fruits. This is why it tells you in scripture, when you are operating according to the fruit, there is no law. You can't do anything wrong but create great things from a place of love, joy, peace, happiness, kindness, gentleness. That's the only thing you can do. But from anger, you can destroy. From guilt, you can destroy. From apathy, you can destroy. From shame, you can destroy. All of these things are destructive to self. And all of these things are destructive to self and set up on purpose so that you can become your own enemy. Well, why would it be wanted for you to become your own enemy as a woman? Because a woman is an amplifier of things. The woman is Mother Earth. The woman cultivates things. The woman grows things. So it's very, very vital to be able, if you want to check and get at anything, you're gonna always come to the woman first. I mean, really look at it, because it's real player. And even when you think about it from scriptural terms, the way that Satan went through, he really was trying to get to Adam, and he went straight through his girl. So literally, society wants to tear down who you are as a woman and disconnect you from your spiritual core, because you are powerless in that space. And so what I am here to do is support you in activating that power and getting that power back, because it never left. You just left the post. You abandoned yourself for an identity and a reality that was created by society that was never even real, i.e., the independent woman was literally a caricature. It literally is a character. It was an archetype created for you to chase it, knowing that you would never really be able to fully own and be in that space because we as human beings are interdependent. And see, society knew that, but they gave you that jargon to get you to chase things that literally was according to not according to your design. And because of that, it made you sick. It's not a coincidence that a lot of women who overwork have womb issues. And this is coming from a woman who had womb issues for 21 years. It's not a coincidence that women who are overworking, that I had a client who I was dealing with, and everybody who was in high level management was a woman. Well, that was a woman had a hysterectomy. You think that's a coincidence that your CEOs, your COOs, your high level people are having womb issues? No, 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 no. That's a coincidence that your CEOs, your COOs, your high level people are having womb issues? No, 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 no. That's at both ends. They understand that though, because they understand your design. And one of the major reasons why a lot of women cannot be in their feminine energy, right, is because they don't understand their design and they fight against their design. And when you fight against your design, your body starts to fight against you. You start having all these internal issues within the body. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into now that you understand that aspect of the feminine, let's talk about another aspect of the feminine that allows the feminine to be able to be comfortable, to be able to be in her energy, to be able to really just ooze. You know what I'm saying? That feminine energy that everyone just like is crazy about and that craves. The feminine, when the feminine is covered, when the feminine is cared for, when the feminine is creative, that's how she cultivates her garden and the gardens of everyone else. And I'm going to say it again. When the feminine is covered, when the feminine is cared for, when the feminine is creative, that is how she cultivates her own garden, and that is how she cultivates the gardens of others in her space. Okay? A lot of women come on my live or inbox me or come to work with me and they just say, I just want to be more in my feminine, honestly. I just want a man to be able to come in and do this, and so I can really be in my feminine energy. This is really what I desire for myself. And the desire itself is completely understandable. But what I also have to explain to a lot of women is this: your femininity, your feminine design, your authentic essence and core has nothing to do with a man. Nothing to do with the man at all. That is all you. And when you understand that that is all you, you will stop trying to make men responsible for you who desire to not be responsible for you. Because some women will try to make men be something that they're simply not going to be. Your feminine has nothing to do with men. So when I'm speaking about the feminine being covered, the feminine being cared for, the feminine being creative so that she can cultivate her garden and then cultivate the gardens of other people, I'm speaking about the feminine doing this for herself. So how does the feminine do this for herself? She does this for herself by one, tapping into the one that created her first and foremost, because you have to understand you in order to understand your design, you have to go to the creator. In order to understand your design, you have to go to the creator. You have to get rooted in that space, because that is how you're going to become secure as a woman. For example, when Eve got here, and I crack jokes and I say this, but when Eve got here, she didn't ask where the lights was at. She didn't ask, what are we going to eat? She didn't ask, do we have somewhere to live? She didn't ask, what are we going to do? She literally got here and everything was Gucci. Everything was good. It was vegetation. The animals was already named, all that stuff. She literally just got herself in position and she had a plot. She had land that she was responsible for watching in the garden. She didn't come here being concerned about if things are going to be taken care of. She came in with full belief that she was going to be covered. So, how does the feminine really activate? How does it really start? It starts with your belief. Whatever your beliefs are around femininity, whatever your beliefs are around your feminine design, whatever your beliefs are truthfully about how your creator sees women is your beliefs, unless you reprogram those beliefs. And if you are going by society and let society tell you about what womanhood looks like, good luck, because the goalpost always gets moved. The goalpost is always being moved. And I personally wouldn't allow a society to be able to berate me when they didn't create me. It doesn't really make sense. That's why women need to stop trying to go by societal beauty standards. Why are you doing that? And I said this for a long time about, it's been about 4 years now, 5 years now. But 5 years ago, I didn't even think I was a beautiful woman, because 5 years ago, I was holding myself to the standard and the idea of what societal beauty was. And it was when I deconstructed from societal beauty by becoming rooted in who I truly am and how the creator saw me, is when I really started to glow. It's like that's when my magnetism went up 10,000, because I immediately stopped listening to society. Because the truth is, if y'all listen to society, y'all all gonna walk around here looking the same and looking alike, which is what's happening, which is what is happening in a lot of people, which is why when you run into someone who is really authentic, who is really genuine, it's like a breath of fresh air, because you've been sitting around a fake so long, right? Thank you so much. So it's one of those things to where you cannot allow a system or a society that didn't create you to berate you or to make you feel small. It doesn't make any sense. So when I'm talking about the feminine and the covering and the caring for and the being creative and so she can cultivate her land, these are things that you have to activate for yourself. When women speak to you about setting a standard, that's the standard. What is the standard of care for y'all? Because here's the thing, y'all will come in here, a lot of women will come and expect men to come in and provide all this amazing care when you don't have a standard of care for yourself. You don't have standard care routines. So how do you want someone in to come in and do something that you are not reflecting? Anyone who comes in your life is a mirror of you. You're not going to get nothing that you're not giving yourself. And we're not giving ourselves the things that we need, which is why you can't cultivate your garden, which is why the majority of women around here are burnt out. And you burnt out because you're not covering yourself, you're not caring for yourself, you're not creating really truthfully the way that you could be creating. Therefore, you are cultivating no gardens. That's why you get no fruit. And when I say that, that means this is why nobody returns to you to support you with the so-called support that you've given other people. You're not giving real support. You're not giving real support. It tells you to love your neighbor as you love yourself. You're not loving yourself, so therefore you can't be loved the way that you are desiring to be loved. You are not an energetic match for that. So you have to understand, the first thing is that it's not a man's responsibility to activate your feminine. That's rule number one. It is not a man's job to activate your feminine energy. That is your responsibility. It's okay that we grew up in a society that told us this is how you be a woman, these things, and you listen to the messed up programming. I understand, we've all done it. But at some point, you're going to have to reprogram your own mind. At some point, you're going to have to rise above and stop looking for somebody in the room to tell you what to do. Nobody has your answers. Even as a feminine leadership strategist, I don't have your answers. But what I can do, and what one of my gifts are, is that I am able to walk you back down to your core so you can see yourself. And when you see yourself, and then I also position you to see who you could be, that is what changes your life. That is what activates you. Your belief. It starts with your belief, because your belief impacts your biology, and your biology influences the way you behave. Eve wasn't worried about nothing because she believed everything was taken care of. So work on your belief. Okay? So let's go ahead and get into these 7 steps. Number 1, the first thing that you need to understand is that you need to understand the power of your feminine design. I've already told you have a sun and a moon clock, right? But you've been conditioned to believe as a woman that success requires you sacrificing your peace. And this is not just, when I say success, I'm not just talking about work or career or business. I'm talking about life. I'm talking about relationships. To see successful relationships, you've been taught to sacrifice your peace. You've been taught to keep the peace. I don't really want to rock the boat. I don't want to say nothing because I don't want them to feel. Why not? Why not? See, feminine women don't mind rocking the boat. See, that's the thing you better understand. Feminine women never mind rocking the boat, baby. Because if we got to ride the boat, oh, it's gonna be smooth, or I ain't getting on it. How about that? So the thing is, we've been conditioned as a society of women, a lot of us, to that any form of success requires us to sacrifice our peace. But the truth of the matter is, when you even look at it from a scriptural or a scientific aspect, women were not created to be exhausted or to be stressed like that. Your body can't handle that. One of my modalities is that I'm an energetic psychology practitioner, which means that I understand how your emotions activate your organs or how they disrupt your organs. And both can happen if you are not careful, if you are not paying attention. Your feminine design was created for flow, not force, which is why your body can't handle you overworking and doing all these things. When you step into alignment of your natural rhythm, your clocks, and you stop working harder, you actually start creating more ease and you actually get more done. And you actually don't even have to do a whole lot. One of the major things that women tend to notice when they come to work with me is that how much more productive they become, but how much less work they end up doing. Because I'm a woman that believes in smart work. I don't believe in hard work. And I don't. There has to be a smart way to be able to do this where it is not as difficult. I am definitely the person who will enter into a room and say, what is the most effective way to do this? What is the most efficient way to do this? How can this experience be exceptional? That is how I think. That is literally how I think. So when I walk into establishments, that is how I'm thinking. You know who does do this very well in business, even though their food is nasty as all get out to me? Chick-fil-A. They're very efficient, they're very effective, and they provide an experience. What's the experience? They say in your name. They make you feel personalized. You literally are standing in line for a very long time, but you got people talking to you the whole way that makes everything go by shortly. That's a little bit more efficient. See, that's effective. See, I'm distracting you from the fact that you've been in this line this long. I'm distracting you from the fact that you're about to get this soggy, sorry chicken. Okay. But I'm distracting you enough with a smile and saying your name and making you feel something. Because ain't nobody said your name today. See? Ain't nobody acknowledge you today. So some people go to Chick-fil-A and that literally is the only acknowledgement that they end up getting. You understand what I'm saying? So they go there because it's a pleasure. That's the pleasure. See, Chick-fil-A operate on psychology. Chick-fil-A understands human psychology. Somebody on the Chick-fil-A team. Thank you, my love. It is psychology 101. That's my bachelor's degree in psychology. See, somebody at Chick-fil-A, they have a psychologist working with them to teach them human psychology because they knew exactly what they needed to do to create an effective, efficient experience when the food is mediocre. I don't care what nobody say, the chicken is mediocre. Okay? Thank you. And I don't eat it. I used to eat it, but I don't eat it. It ain't the same. That's what I'm saying. So when you come into elements, let me say this to you too from a feminine aspect, right? When you walk into every room, thank you, my love, for these likes and these gifts. When you walk into every room, you need to be walking into the room like, how can me walking into this room be the easy, the most efficient, effective experience ever? Like that's how you should be walking around as a feminine woman. It's a pleasure to experience you. Do you understand that you are a first class experience? Like literally, you literally are a first class experience. And when you understand that you are a first class experience, you realize everybody can't afford to ride. Therefore, you don't allow everyone to ride. You understand what I'm saying? You let them walk past first class and go to the back. When you understand that about your energy in yourself, you stop allowing yourself to succumb to things of the mindset that you have to overwork. There is power in your feminine design. There's power in your vulnerability. There's power in your silence. There's power in you knowing your identity. There's power in your intuition. There's power in you being intentional as a woman. You need to understand that you are the queen and this is chess. Your next move is always your best move because you're intentional, you're strategic. That's how you got to move as a woman. You can't be out here just doing whatever. The women who, let me tell you something, a queen is never a victim of a narcissist. A queen is never, and I rarely say never, beloved. Never is never, and I rarely say never, beloved. Never a victim of a narcissist because queens are extremely intentional. When you think about the game of chess, she knows she can move anywhere. See, y'all gotta have the energy of the queen piece on the chessboard. She knows she can move anywhere. She can go anywhere. She can leave any spot and it's another spot of abundance ready. She can go and do whatever she want to do. She is not scared to leave. She is not scared to leave. And the thing about it is, because she know her next move gonna be her best move, because she's intentional and she's strategic. And you need to start moving. That is a part of your design as a woman. Start understanding how you really operate. Understand your sun clock, your moon clock. Understand your connection to the elements of this earth from a scriptural perspective. Because let's get into it. Let's talk about the earth on your skin. Let's talk about the water that your body is made up of. Let's talk about the fire in the warmth of your blood. Let's talk about the air that's breathing through your lungs. You think you're not connected to these things? You allow society to tell you and demonize these things because you don't read scripture for yourself to get an understanding. You don't worship these things. These aren't things to be worshiped. These are tools. These are tools of understanding so that you can understand yourself. That's it. That is it. The Most High tells you to watch creation, tells you to watch the ants, tells you to watch the ants, tells you to watch creation, tells you to pay attention to the seasons. All of these things tell a story. Time operates in the form of cycles. This is why it's so important when you are calling yourself a cycle breaker that you know what that means. See, a lot of y'all out here calling yourself stuff that y'all don't really know what that even means. Do you understand what a cycle breaker is? A cycle breaker is a person who has learned how to master time, because time operates in the form of cycles. Let me break it down for you. And if you hear anybody else break down my formula of time, you come back and see me, because I'm going to send them a cease and desist. Okay? A cease and desist. I'm going to send it to them. I'm in my turn to send it to them. But understand, this is what you need to grasp about time. Now, this part of the form is not a part of the formula, but I'm going to break down the formula in a second. Time is broken up into two things specifically. We have Kairos time, and then we have Chronos time. Chronos time is your chronological time, your seconds, your years, your minutes, your hours, your days, right? Chronos times are your seasons. It's your ebbs and your flows, your ups and your downs, your highs and your lows, okay? All of these things matter. All of these things operate according to a cycle. So let's talk about the formula of time so you can get a better understanding if you were claiming to be a cycle breaker, okay? Time equals cause, meaning something has to happen, effect, meaning there's a reaction to that, which creates a pattern, okay? And that pattern becomes a season depending on how long that pattern continues. And if that season sets for a long time, it becomes a cycle. This is how people end up repeating the same cycles over and over again, okay? If we were to use this in an example of, let's say weight loss, since everybody's in the beginning of the year. I used to be like 100 pounds heavier. Let me put you on game on how I use the formula of time to be able to lose basically 100 pounds. So, cause I ate different. Me eating different caused a different reaction within my body. I stopped seeing food as filling up, as to fill up, and I started seeing food as fuel. When I started seeing food as fuel, guess what? And I started eating different food, that was a different cause that gave me a different effect of how my body was operating, which created a brand new pattern, a healthier pattern within my body, which at that point I continued to do it, which it became a season that I was eating and taking care of myself and doing this. And guess what? And that became what? A cycle. So now here I am, 41, when I spent the majority of my 20s in my early 30s being basically almost 100 pounds overweight, basically 100 pounds heavier. And here I am, 41 now in this space, because I've been able to master time. I've been able to create a new life cycle for myself to where my quality of life is extremely better. It's impeccable. That is how you can quantum jump. You quantum jump by realizing how you're causing things to happen in your reality. That is how you break cycles. I know a lot of y'all think y'all looking back at your family and you're like, I'm breaking the cycles of what they did. Let me tell you something, because I know a lot of y'all think y'all are better than the people that came before you because you got your degrees and everything. And don't get me wrong, I'm degreed up. Okay? No, you think you're better than them and you're looking at them like you're breaking cycles and you're doing better than them. But baby, guess what? You are still a lemon from that lemon tree. And if you get pressure and if you get pushed and enough pressure put on you, you still gonna squeeze lemon juice. You understand what I'm saying? Unless you have done something different. You need to be able to recognize who you are how those things contributed to your reality, how those things impact your reality currently. You can't uproot something that you're not really willing to admit. Y'all sitting around thinking y'all better than the people that came before y'all, and you're not. You're not. If you're gonna break cycles, you need to pay attention to the things that you're causing. It ain't got nothing to do with your mama, ain't got nothing to do with your grandma, ain't got nothing to do with the people that came before you. It's up to you. Are you going to close those doors by understanding your feminine design? A lot of us have grown up with women who had to forcefully do things. So a lot of us were trained and grew up to be achievers, to be more so on the masculine side of things. And so we feel very uncomfortable. I've been there. Baby, I'm the oldest daughter. Get into it. I'm the oldest daughter, raised by a military mother. I had military parents. My mother, like I was raised on achievement. My mother's very results driven. So I grew up very much so like in a masculine space. And I had to hit the reset button on my life because I started to assess how that energy benefited or broke the women that came before me. And I had to decide whether or not I wanted to be in a space where my life, where I was benefiting, or if I wanted to be broken down by trying to do everything, trying to be everything, or if I wanted to actually study my feminine design and operate according to that. And it coming from being a woman who was stressed out, 100 pounds heavier, working 3 jobs and still not having no money, to going to a person who has lost 100 pounds, became a digital nomad to where I can travel the entire world, made 6 figures, over 6 figures in my business, being able to do it by authentically being me, by literally being in alignment with what the Most High has for me. The thing about it is when it tells you in scripture that you have creative and witty inventions in your very being, and it tells you that your gifts will make room for you, you got to believe it. The reason why these things aren't activated in your life is because you don't believe it. You don't believe it. Y'all out here talking about some ain't no men out here. Folks getting married every day, B. Folks getting married every day. My friend just got engaged. Listen to me. And it didn't take long. She been with baby. That's a story. Because I was with from the beginning. It's all about your belief. It is all about your belief and what you choose to submit to when it comes down to your beliefs. So when you understand the power of your feminine design, you stop allowing yourself to be conditioned to believe that you have to struggle to be successful in a relationship. You have to struggle to be successful in business. You have to struggle to be able to be on the other side of the great things. That's not the case. Everything is not a struggle. Everything is not a struggle. That is slave mentality programming. For real though, everything is not a struggle. That's not even scriptural that everything is a struggle. That is a concern. And a lot of us work against our feminine design and it hurts us. Peace is a spiritual fruit. If you have none, you in trouble. Because there is a peace that will surpass your understanding, but it requires your belief. It requires that. And it's one thing to say it, but it's another thing to really live in that. The second step, or the second thing that you're going to have to do if you want to burn down your old self, next to understanding the power of your design, you need to understand how to manifest as a woman. And you need to understand how to do it using your menstrual cycle. Let me put you on game on something, okay? When you go back in scripture and it talks about how, let's see, you got to read. Stop letting people tell you things and start reading for yourself and ask the Most High to open your eyes to the reality of who you are and how you operate as a woman. It is not a coincidence that when women are on Nada, which is what that is called when they're on their cycle, then that they had to be away. They were away. They were secluded. Now, some people look at that like, why is that a big deal? You know why why she was secluded? So she can come back and amplify her family. How she was gonna come back and amplify her family, Elle, I'm finna tell you. What she does and what is supposed to happen on your cycle. And this is what I teach my clients. When you are releasing physically, do you not realize that you are to be releasing things spiritually that don't belong every single month? Y'all be wondering why them demons be following y'all, baby. Y'all just keep them coming every single month. All these attachments that are weighing you down, that are literally forming sickness in your body. You are to be releasing the things spiritually that do not belong, that may have attached themselves to you, that you may have attached yourself to. So let's get into it. You are to be releasing things mentally that don't belong, thoughts that do not serve you. You are supposed to be capturing your thoughts. You are supposed to be in control of your thoughts, because so a man thinking in his heart, so is he. So if you think so low of yourself, that is the reality that you will continue to create for yourself. So the thoughts in your mind that do not belong, the thoughts that do not align with Colossians 3 and 2, that tells you to keep your mind on things that are above, you're supposed to trash them, beloved. Where is your routine and your ritual to trash those things that do not serve you, that are not of your godlike nature? You're supposed to release these things spiritually, mentally, emotionally, along with the fact that you are releasing physically. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that you are releasing these things. Why is it so important for you to release these things? How are these women going to take this back to their family and support them? Because guess what? When you're empty, you can be filled up. And when you are on your cycle, that is the most intuitive time. That is the best time to get the digital downloads from the one that created you, because you are open. But if you don't know how to do that, if you don't understand that, you can't receive, which is why you struggle to receive compliments, which is why you tend to throw a compliment back at somebody, because it feels so uncomfortable for you to receive a compliment because you don't believe it. This is why you talk about yourself like, oh girl, you look cute today. Oh girl, I really don't feel cute. You do all of these things to yourself. You don't know how to receive. You don't know how to receive because you don't release. And if you don't release and you can't receive, I know you're not rejecting. You're taking any offer that you can get, including the one they give you at that 9 to 5, where they leaving you $25,000 on the back table because you don't negotiate your salary. That's what you're doing. You ain't finna convince me. You're not rejecting any dates because you're so desperate to be on any, because you're not releasing men. You see, how you do one thing is normally how you do all things. And this is what happens when you don't understand your own power as a woman to be able to manifest things. And you manifest things by being able to release things, receive things, and reject things that do not align. But because you don't do these things, you don't know how. Manifestation isn't about you writing down wishes, baby. It ain't about you writing down wishes and writing down 369. It's not about any of that. You're doing the repetition part. Okay. This is about embodying the energy that you want. Before I became a 6-figure plus entrepreneur in my business, and this is my second business. Before that happened, I would write down, and I said this before, I had a little thing I would say with $0 in the bank. I got $100,000 in the bank. I got $100,000 in the bank. I don't know how to act. I don't know how to act. So then I would ask myself, write down, if you had this in the bank, what would you be doing? I would go work out. I would do this. I would do that. All of my habits elevated. Everything elevated about me. I literally created a CEO schedule. And then before you know it, my company hit 6 figures. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. You have to, when it says without faith is impossible to please him, when it says faith without works is dead, put you on game for those who know they got a calling and know they've been told and know what their assignment is, but you constantly just sitting down because you scared. You're gonna be held responsible for that. You're gonna be held responsible for that because everybody came here with an assignment. And when you got your notice and you got clear on what your assignment is, being scared is not a part of the program. Being scared is not a part of the program. Because again, that's where your faith comes in. Well, how am I going to make this money? That's where your faith comes in. When I walked away from my government job, that everybody was so like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you're doing this after 35 and da 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 da. Listening to what the Most High told me to do. I had full faith that I wasn't going to miss a bill. I had full faith that everything was going to be taken care of. Babe, you couldn't tell me my name wasn't even. I wasn't walking into the garden and everything was set up for me. And guess what? Because I had that mindset, everything was set up for me. I didn't miss a bill. I didn't miss a beat. I didn't miss nothing. Do you understand what I'm telling you? And I ain't missed nothing in the 5 years that I've been an entrepreneur. I haven't missed anything. It was when I got serious and when I got for real and when I showed that I was faithful with a little that the Most High allowed me to start seeing what a lot could look like. But I had to understand how I manifested things as a woman. If I did not receive, if I did not release, I couldn't receive and I couldn't reject. Because see, understand that principle. That's what I teach my clients specifically when they come to work with me. You need to be able to release as a feminine woman. You need to be able to receive as a feminine woman. You need to be able to reject as a feminine woman. If you don't release that person that you keep being in that situationship, you're not going to get what it is that you're not going to receive what you really want. You're not going to receive what you want because you won't release it. And because you won't release it and you can't receive, you don't reject the treatment that you continue to get because you won't release it. All of these things are connected. It's not for play. When it tells you in scripture to guard your heart above everything else because from it flows life, that's not a joke. There is such a thing called broken heart syndrome. I watched somebody die from it firsthand. Broke my heart into pieces, almost killed me. You understand what I'm telling you? Almost took me down to see it. Matters of the heart are not a joke. Society tricked you into believing that matters of the heart are a joke with this toxic programming about being toxic and operating according to that. Do you understand by definition, toxic means a slow poison? Why would you call yourself that when there's power of life and death in the tongue and you wondering why you ain't getting nothing healthy? Look what you call yourself. Look what you refer to yourself as. You are what you attract. You are what you attract. Yep. That's all you, beloved. That's all you. Okay? Sherry, hold that question for me. That's all you. Here's the thing. Feminine manifestation works because you literally attract what you are, not what you chase. Okay? If you're feeling unworthy, that's what you call in. So if that man make you feel worthless, ooh, how do you treat yourself when you make a mistake? Have you forgiven yourself the way that you beg God to forgive you? Or are you still holding on to it even though God threw it into the sea of forgetfulness? Like, what is it looking like for you? What is it giving? Because the energy you're getting is the energy you've given yourself because the universal algorithm responds to who you are. That's the way God created it. That's the way the Most High created the universe. It's an algorithm. It only responds. That's big responder. That's the big algorithm. It's just keeping track. It's not personal. It ain't personal. It ain't personal. It's literally business. That's the way it was designed. And you're not understanding that. If you feel unworthy, that's what you call for. Shift your energy and you'll shift your reality. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I've taught my clients. I've taught my clients how to reprogram their mind, reprogram their subconscious mind. That's what I do. I'm very skilled at that because I've done it to myself several times. Okay? Here's the third thing that's going to be very, very important that you need to understand in this process of if you're wanting to burn your old identity and rise from the ashes. Once you learn the power of your feminine design, once you understand how you manifest as a woman, then you need to understand how you attract. You learn how you create things into your life. Okay? Yes, Rocky. Tell them. Tell them, Rocky. Listen, don't get me on here telling Rocky's story, baby. Because I love me some Rocky. Rocky came to me in 2023, baby. She was working amazingly. She's gifted at what she does. Do you hear me? But was charging too low. I said, no, ma'am. We're gonna bring this price up from this 3 figures to 2,000 and 2,500, baby. Rocky called that money in so quick. Rocky called that money in so quick. Baby, she had offers up to almost 15,000 and people wanted her. She had to be like, hold on. And this was in less than 30 days. She had to be like, hold on, hold tight. She was like, I know it's real now. So when I tell you, it's understand how you attract. Understand how you attract. So we're talking about how you attract. You don't get what you want. You get what you're aligned with. If you don't have a healthy relationship, you're not in alignment with that right now. You're not in alignment with that right now. Search yourself. Are you healthy spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, socially? Are you healthy? See, these are the things financially. Are you healthy? Because if you're not healthy in those areas, you're gonna bring the other person down. See, there's this new thing, and I've heard women talk about this, they're a collective of men. Yes, Rocky, I love it. She said, I'm living proof alignment is real. Don't play. Don't play. I'm telling y'all, I'm not new to this. I'm true to it. And I've been through the fire myself, which is why I take what I know and give it to those so they don't have to go through the fire. Because at 41, I went through several fires and almost burned myself the hell all the way up. Do you understand what I'm telling you? And if it was not for the Most High literally seeing me and keeping me and covering me as I journeyed to Him on my hands and knees, you understand what I'm saying? But baby, it hits different. Alignment hits different. I'm telling you. When you're in alignment, it's easier to do your assignment. And when you're doing your assignment, you fulfilled. Nothing else fulfills you outside of doing what you were designed to do. For real, I'm telling you. So understand, back to attraction. You don't get what you want, you get what you're energetic match for. You get what you're aligned for. Attraction isn't about hoping. There's several levels of attraction. And I talk about this in one of my courses. But it's about creating emotional and energetic space for wealth, for love, for freedom to just really flow to you. So you have to ask yourself, what are you currently aligning with? Look at the things that are in your life right now and see the things that are in your life. Do you desire those things for real? Ask yourself, do you really desire those things? And if you don't desire those things, then it's time for you to shift. You got to see how you attracted those things. What energetically in you called you forth. I know you want to think you better than your friend who sleep with everybody else's husband. I know you want to think you better than her because you ain't necessarily out here sleeping with nobody else's husband, right? But where's the common core characteristic that connects y'all? Because how can two walk together when they don't agree? And I ain't mad about how nobody chooses to live their life, because guess what, baby? The universal algorithm is I'm only got to deal with what I put in it for me. You understand what I'm saying? But what I'm asking you is, you're connected to this person. So what is the core characteristic that keeps you connected if this is not your thing? If that ain't what you do, if you don't agree with that, then how is this person in your space? Because in some form or fashion, you attracted that. And see, we don't like to look at attraction also from the space of friendship, but yeah, baby. Uh-huh. A liar don't feel comfortable sitting at a truth teller table because eventually they're going to be exposed. And who wants to be exposed? Definitely not the liar. So don't get it confused. Ask yourself, what are you currently aligning with? Okay? Because that's going to make you shift. For those who are just joining, make sure y'all click the link in the bio and grab my and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because this is my last TikTok live. Starting Monday, I will be going live on YouTube only, boo. So you'll have to catch me over there and catch me on Instagram and catch me on my Facebook page. So again, if you're, this is how you're burning down your old identity, okay? So you can activate wealth in the space of emotional fulfillment, financial resources, healthy relationships, growth and purpose, and time freedom, okay? Well, number one, again, yes, it is. You can click the link in the bio. The name is the same on the accounts. First, you're going to understand the power of your feminine design. And we talked about that. So getting rid of that old conditioning. The second thing is you're going to understand how to manifest as a woman, specifically being able to use your cycle by understanding that process. And I've already broke that down. Okay. Number three, understanding how you attract as a woman. Okay. Because it's very important and extremely vital. I mean, extremely important, extremely vital. Yes, it will. The fourth thing that needs to happen is that you need to increase your value as a woman. And I'm going to just tell you straight like that. You need to increase your value as a woman. A lot of us think that we're better than we are. To keep it real with you. Because if you're not good to yourself, you're not good to nobody else. If you're not treating yourself right, if you got people in your life who disrespect you, you're not treating yourself right. So stop. Stop. You need to increase your value as a woman so that you can elevate your experiences and elevate your circle, because you have no business being in spaces where you are being devalued and you are being drained. According to Genesis 1, it literally lets you know specifically, baby, that you have a godlike, you have the most highest character in you, and you have God's likeness within you, and you got dominion, meaning you have your own piece of the pie. Why are you settling for crumbs? Because you don't know better. And you don't know better of yourself, which is why you need to increase your value. The world mirrors how you value yourself. Never forget that. The world is mirroring how you value yourself. Nobody is treating you. There are no victims. See, in certain scenarios, there are victims. There are no victims without coercion. Okay. If there's force in it, that's a victim. That's something different. But when we're talking about victims in the space of, oh my God, you're doing this to me, there's a very fine line between victims and volunteers. It's a very, very fine line. It's real slim. Nobody can play you without your permission, your participation, or the fact that you simply are not paying attention. You were given your God-given intuition. You are always given warnings. There are always signs. If you've ever watched their show, Evil Lives Here, they always talk about how the person ended up snapping at the end. And in the beginning of the show, they always say, and there's always signs. There is always signs. Okay? There's always signs. You can find me. My name on here is the same name on YouTube if the link is not working properly. Okay. There are always signs. Let me tell you something. Again, the world mirrors your how you value yourself. When you diminish your worth, the world diminishes your worth too. Okay. When y'all, and I'm gonna help y'all out for those who are still working 9 to 5s, right? And but those who may be looking for new employment, let's just say you're going up and you're not ready to, you're not starting your business yet. You're gonna start it when you get to the next one, but you just need to get out of there. When you go into these environments where they are talking to you about salaries, stop limiting yourself and stop taking the first offer. When a woman takes the first offer on something, I immediately know that she does not know how to receive, release, and reject. You should not be accepting the first offer on anything. Hey, can you go out tomorrow? Yes, I can go. I can go. I'll be there tomorrow. I'll be there with bells on. I'll have all this so you can see me. I have a red dress on. Weren't you supposed to go visit your mom tomorrow? Wasn't you supposed to go visit your mom tomorrow? Why are you accepting that first offer? What's going on? What happened? What's wrong? What are we doing? You sitting in the job interview. Yeah, I was see. What's your salary requirements? You ain't even looked to see how much the position really pays, how valuable that role really is. You haven't even looked at how you can add even more value to it to be able to articulate your value so you can ask for $25,000 more dollars. So you go in there and you just saw whatever the salary was on the thing. Oh, I'll take 50,000. Meanwhile, you could have got 80,000. Oh, I'll take 50,000. Okay, great. Baby, y'all just limit yourself. Now, somebody come and ask me, I don't work a 9 to 5, but if somebody was to come and ask me specifically, okay, when we're talking about salary, well, I was looking online and specifically was saying that this particular position, it ranges around 75 and $80,000. But I looked at specifically that you guys kind of put it in a position of 90,000. So considering my experience here and how I'd be able to expand this and this and that, I personally think that about 85,000 would be standard. If you want 80,000 in the position, if you want, let's just say you want if you want 100,000 and the position is for 130, ask for 120. Let them bring you down. You don't go in giving them this. See, you understand your value as a woman. You need to increase your value. Let me transfer that over into a relationship. Okay, let's talk about it. Or somebody offering you a situationship. Let's do that too. Okay, let's do that too. Someone comes to you, I ain't really ready for a relationship, but we could be friends, we could hang out, we could lay down, we could do this, we can do that. And here you go. Somebody paying you attention. Yeah, great. That's fine. That's totally fine. I think that's great. Even though I want a relationship, we could totally do this. I mean, we can grow into it because eventually we can go into something else, right? Yeah, we can end up doing this. I totally would do this. I'm going to give you everything. Then you start auditioning. Instead of saying, you know what? Actually, that doesn't necessarily really align with me because I'm looking for something in connections that I actually value and I don't really value. A situationship doesn't really energetically match where I am in my life right now, but I wish you the best in finding exactly what you're looking for. You don't know how to reject because you don't know how to release, because you don't know how to receive. You don't know how to reject. You need to increase your value. Because when you increase your value, you're going to say no a whole lot more than you say yes. When you increase your value, the boundary is going to be heavy. You understand what I'm saying? That's what's going to happen. You sound angry. I sound angry. This must be your first time here. This must be totally be your first time here. But understanding your value and being able to articulate your value is important. Knowing your value will position you for not settling for less. Women settle for less because they don't understand their value. Yeah, I have to laugh. This must be your first time. Because ain't nothing angry about me. But I will go in showing the examples. But, hey, whatever. Perception ain't reality. So you have to understand your value. Elevating your value is not a selfish experience, right? It's not. You sound passionate and kind. Thank you, my love. Men dislike rejection and seem to try harder. They love a challenge. Baby, listen, I think people don't like rejection. And honestly, I've seen some women go harder when a man said he just want to be a friend. They start turning up the tricking. I done seen them start turning up the cooking. I could see them start turning up, opening the cat. I mean, they just really start. Some people take it as a challenge. I don't know why. You got one time to tell me no. Somebody gonna tell me, yeah, it ain't you. So I'm done. I'm done. Elevating your value isn't selfish. It's sacred. It's a sacred experience. When you honor yourself, you teach other people to honor you. I always say that self care is the key fundamental of every single relationship because you set the tone of how people treat you by the way you treat yourself. And you should treat yourself exceptionally well because you deserve it, unless you don't believe that. Because everything goes back to belief because belief impacts biology and biology influences the way you behave. That's why you was throwing up in the toilet thinking you was pregnant. And when you found out you wasn't pregnant, you stopped throwing up. That's how powerful your brain is. It tricked you into thinking you was pregnant. How about that? That's how powerful the brain is. Don't you ever forget it. Your value dictates your outcomes. So raise it. Stop telling people you know your worth. People who say, I know my worth, they don't be knowing their worth. They be lying. They be wanting somebody else to see them as worthy. People who say, I know my worth, you're not going to treat me like that. Sweetheart, you're lying. Because the truth of the matter is, if you knew your worth, you would not be in this type of experience, number one. If you knew your worth, number two, you would not have to speak it. The real ones don't never have to say, I'm real. The real ones never have to say, I'm real. The ones who was made don't have to say, that I'm made. It's just very clear. It's very clear. So again, if we're talking about burning down your old self to activate your new self so you can attract wealth in the form of financial resources, emotional fulfillment, time freedom, healthy relationships, and then also growth and freedom, that looks like understanding the power of your design. That looks like knowing how to manifest as a woman specifically because we don't manifest the same as men. This looks like understanding how you attract as a woman. This means you understand and you increase your value as a woman. Okay? So let's get into the fifth thing because I got a couple of more and I'm gonna let y'all go. This is my last live on TikTok. Make sure that you follow me on Instagram and YouTube, same name. Okay. All right. The fifth thing that needs to happen is this. I hear y'all talking about love languages. I hear y'all talking about attachment styles. But here's the thing that you need to really understand and grasp is that you need to master the duality, the polarity of your love language. Because a lot of y'all do a whole lot of talking about, oh my, I like gifts, I like acts of service, I like words of affirmation. You need to really dissect what that really really looks like. Feminine power thrives in duality. It's understanding of self, of both sides of the polarity. The balance between giving and receiving is very important when I'm talking about this love language aspect. You cannot pour endlessly, which is what a lot of y'all like to do, into others hoping to receive. You cannot pour into others endlessly without learning to receive. The more you embody this balance, the more magnetism you can create for love, for wealth, and for success. You need to understand the duality so you can understand your shadow. Okay? Little Miss, I love words of affirmation. How you do with criticism though? Little Miss, words of affirmation. How do you speak to yourself when you get angry at yourself and when you make a decision? Little Miss, words of affirmation. Little Miss, quality time. How's it going over there in isolation? Huh? Let's talk about it. Little Miss, I want to just receive gifts. How you doing over there trying to find yourself by shopping yourself away in materialism? Do we understand the shadows of ourselves? Do we get it? It is very, 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 very important that you understand the duality of your love language. See, this is how y'all get tricked. Y'all find yourselves so enamored by the words, so enamored by the words that you miss it. But the reason why you're so enamored with words, so enamored with gifts, so enamored with quality time, so enamored with all the other love languages is because you don't serve yourself first pour. You don't give these things to yourself. So you get so enamored when somebody else does this. So the minute something else happens, you don't know how to live. You don't know how to do. You need to understand the duality of how you operate. You need to understand the duality and the polarity of how you operate. A lot of you don't understand why you keep attracting feminine men. It's science. Everything I give you gonna come from scripture, science, and psychology, beloved. When you operate outside of your authentic feminine design, you can't do nothing but attract masculine. Attract feminine. If you are feminine by design and you go against that design, that means you're working with the other counterpart. That means you're operating from that space. And if you're operating from the energy of that space, you're going to attract your authentic design in another body that's going against their authentic design. That's polarity. You can't put two batteries on the same side and expect it to work. You can't have two feminine sitting right there in a space in a relationship. There's always going to be polarity. That's science. Because you can't stay in that space when there's two of y'all in there fighting like cats. Okay? It doesn't work. Hey, my love, happy Feminine Friday. So you have to understand polarity. You have to understand what energetically you are putting off that's calling your counterparts. And I understand I've been there. I understand I've been there. The key thing is about you, it's not that you're not going to attract these things, but what you entertain says that. So if you are a woman who says that you desire and you prefer, if you're going to deal with men, is more so they're in their masculine role and you're in your feminine role, then you need to be able to operate according to your design. That means you understand the power of your design. That means you understand how you manifest. That means you understand how you attract. That means you understand your value because you increase your value. This means you understand the duality of your love language. This supports you in not getting played. See, can't nobody play with you when you understand the power of your design. Can't nobody play with you when you know how you manifest things. Can't nobody play with you when you understand how you attract. Can't nobody play with you when you are valuable. See, these are all signs of a woman that can't be played with. So nobody can play you without your permission, your participation, or the fact that you simply are not paying attention, baby. You ain't. And the key thing is, a lot of us are not paying attention to ourselves, and that's the problem. You paying attention to everything else but self. The more you embody the balance of giving and receiving and understanding the polarity and duality of your love language, the more magnetism, the more your magnetism elevates, the more you can create more wealth, the more you can create more success because you're elevated. Now, here's the sixth thing. After you have understood the power of your feminine design, learn how to manifest as a woman specifically using your cycle. Understand how you attract, increase your value as a woman, master the duality of your love language. You're going to have to burn your previous identity. And this is where y'all get stuck right here. Y'all will go all the way down to 5. But you get to 6 and you realize you got to shed some skin and you realize you need to shed some people and you realize you need to get rid of these folks, then you want to stop. They've been my friends since this. They've been in my life since this. But let me help you out. If you don't burn your previous identity with these attachments that you have to it, the woman you were got you exactly where you at. Let me bring that reality in. The woman you were got you exactly where you at. And you don't like where you at. That's what you say. And if you don't like what you at, that means you recognize that that woman can take you no further than where you are. You understand what I'm telling you? She can't take you no further. If you keep holding on to hold on to her is to hold on to struggle because she is dragging you. You are being dragged by her. You getting dragged by the old you. You are literally being dragged because you are holding on to her. Holding on to her is holding on to struggle, holding on to fear, holding on to scarcity that she created when she didn't know who she was. See, when you leave this life, you're going to know who you are. And guess what? You're going to be responsible spiritually for everything you picked up that I put down on this live. Don't get mad at me. Y'all chose to be here. I just let the Most High use me. Once you hear it and you don't do nothing with it, that's on you. I did my part. If you don't burn down the old house and build a new one on solid foundation, you're going to be in trouble. Yes, you are going to lose people when you leave the vibrational state of anxiousness to go into the state of courage and love. Because a lot of people ain't going to step up into the vibrational state of courage. Most people, and I've said this before, 93% of people say they won't change, but ain't going to do a doggone thing. 7% of people are actually going to try and attempt. 1.5 to 2% of those people are going to be successful because they stick with it. 97% of the people you're talking to, they ain't going with you. They ain't. If you're going to rise up and they're not interested, they're not going with you. You can't be afraid to lose things. You have to know the things that you lose in this experience cannot compare to the things that you will gain when you rise up to the vibrational state of courage. When you and I'm gonna put let's break this down in a way to where it's understanding. We all have a family member. All of us have had at least one family member that probably was out there on drugs. Okay, so we have that one person, right? That we know that we may love and we may adore, but they just out there. Addiction is really a sickness, right? And they sick. And let's just say, for example, that person decides to make a real decision to step into the vibrational state of courage, right? To get the help that they need. Do you know how many family members, how many supporters, how many people will be standing there just waiting on them they standing on the vibrational state of courage, waiting with their hands like this. All you got to do is come up. All you have to do is come up. We got you if you make the decision to come up, because we not coming down. When that person makes a decision to come up from the state of fear, because fear is the state that they are on when they are in addictive state. They're scared of leaving it, letting it go. Because they're scared of letting it go because they got to face whatever reality is on the other side of what they've been trying to escape from. So that takes power. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when they make that decision to come up to courage, there is a community waiting on you. And some of y'all sit on the fear of anxiousness, of fear, of guilt, of shame, of apathy, and you won't come up to the vibrational state of courage because you're scared of what you're going to lose, not having an idea of the things that you are going to gain when you step up into a higher frequency. Do you understand? The longer you sit at a low vibrational state, you become your own enemy. You are your own enemy. It literally tells you in scripture, in John 10:10, that's your birthright or your death sentence. Do you hear me? See, people don't look at it like that, but I'm going to break it down to you in a way where you're going to get it. John 10:10 either is going to activate your birthright for you, or it's going to be your path to destruction because you refuse it. John 10:10 tells you that the enemy is coming to steal, kill, and destroy. That's one end. And it tells you the Messiah is coming to give you life and give you life abundantly. That's another end. Abundance by definition means plentifulness. What do you mean there's no plentifulness? Abundance means plentifulness. It means not running out. What do you mean there's no resources and there's no income? Plentifulness. Why do you think people in scripture, even though famines and things were going on, then people were still flourishing? Y'all wild. How you out here believing that the Most High gonna let you be in a famine, let you be famished? If you listening, then you're always gonna be fruitful, beloved. You ain't gonna miss. So what do you mean? What do you mean? And the thing is, we will sit at these low levels because we lack understanding of self. So you would reject your birthright of abundance, of having what it is that you truly desire. Because a lot of y'all think y'all want stuff. See, what you want and what you desire ain't the same thing, because you don't know yourself. You want what society told you you want. You want princess treatment because you saw it online, when in reality, you desire a deep, longing connection with a partner, lifelong, in a form of marriage. That's what you really desire. But what you want, you're telling yourself you want, is princess treatment. The desires of your heart and what you think you want in this world is not the same, which is why you should get to know yourself, which is why it's important for you to be in alignment, because when you're not in alignment, you become your own enemy. Well, how? So let's get back into the enemies come to steal, kill, and destroy. You know how that happens? I want y'all to stop blaming the devil today. Stop. Stop blaming the devil. The devil's so busy. This is why this is happening, because of the devil. Let me tell you something. That verse exposes everything about humanity and about the choice you either gonna make or the one that's gonna be made for you. If you don't step into the fullness of the mindset of abundance in your birthright, what you will do is become your own enemy. How you gonna do that? You gonna steal your own joy, because the enemies come to steal, kill, and destroy. So you're going to become your own enemy by stealing your own joy, because you continue to sit on the frequency of fear and not move your feet. You're going to slowly kill your confidence, because as you begin to age, you're going to feel like, you know what, you can't continue. There's nothing else for you. This is just your reality. So your spirit is going to be broken because the confidence is killed. And once the confidence is killed, because that is a breaking of the spirit, you self-destruct. You start doing things that destroy your behavior, that destroy who you are. You start acting in ways that actually damage and are destructive to you, until you eventually self-destruct. That's literally what that is. So as much as you want to sit here and be like, oh, the devil did this. No, baby, the devil don't do nothing but put you in front of you. See, when you wake up every single morning, there are minions on assignment watching you, taking notes, looking for anyone to be able to jump in and anything, looking for any open portal, looking at all your business, waiting just to see, and going back and reporting. So when you get the opportunities in front of your face, you know you've been wanting money so much. Let me see what you're going to do for that money, though. You want a man so bad? Let me see how you're going to sacrifice your well-being and your self-respect for that man. Oh, you want this promotion? Let me see what you're going to willing to do, and how you're willing to code switch and not be yourself and exhaust yourself to oblivion by wearing a mask, being fake to get this promotion, until you have a breakdown. See, the enemy don't do nothing but put what you claim you want in front of you and let you choose your reality, because we are the creators of our life experience. Okay? The quality of life that you have, the experience that you have, the quality is in your hands. And if you choose your birthright, then you live in a land of abundance. You don't understand lack. You don't speak lack. You don't know lack. You don't see lack. But when you operate from a space of being your own enemy, all you see is the stolen things that are taken from you. All you see is your confidence being destroyed, until you eventually self-destruct. So you choose. You choose the reality so you choose. If your reality, you have been living outside of your birthright, outside of abundance, then you need to burn that identity before you self-destruct. Hey, burn it or self-destruct. Burn it or it's going to explode. Makes me no different. That's your life. But don't say you didn't know. That's your life. This is your reality, because whatever you are not shifting, you are choosing. Whatever you are not shifting in your life experience, you are selecting. Anything that you are not shifting in your life experience, you are selecting. You are pushing the button and activating that for yourself. Don't come over here crying, talking about you don't know why this happened. You are activating this. You are actively selecting these things, because you're not paying attention to you. You're not covering and keeping you. Burn your previous identity down to the ground. Even if you got to rename yourself. Now, I'm not talking about go, if you want to go do the whole, if even you, she need to go. She need to go. Because where she got you, it ain't finna work. It's not gonna work. Okay? Burn the identity that's keeping you small. Rise into the version of you that claims everything that you desire. Do you understand what I'm saying? Really, really come into that. Here's the seventh thing that's really important. After you have, okay, after you have understood and you have an understanding of the power of your feminine design, you done broke away from the conditioning. You're welcome. All praise to the Most High. When you understand how to manifest as a woman using your moon cycle, when you begin to understand how you specifically attract, okay? When you begin to understand that you are valuable and you increase and amplify that value as a woman, when you understand how to master duality of your love languages, when you burn your previous identity, the next thing that you need to do is go get the money that you've been always wanting to get. And how you going to do that is you're going to master the art of sales. See, there's no more you depending solely on a 9 to 5 to be able to supply what it is that you have going on, because you understand that you have creative and witty inventions in your very being. That's what Proverbs 8 and 12 says. You also understand that you have gifts that will make room for you. That's also what Proverbs says. You also understand that wealth can be magnetized to you, because Proverbs also tells you, literally, and 20, I think the 23rd chapter, 7th verse, that you don't need to chase wealth, because wealth, literally, if you chase it, it will take up wings and fly away from you. So now that you understand you have gifts that will make room for you and you don't have to chase, guess what you can do? Master the art of selling. There is a art to selling. Yes, one of mine too, Raven. There is an art to selling. There is a science to selling. That is what you see a lot of men do. There is an art to selling. That is what you see a lot of feminine women do. Sales is not about forcing. You're not beating anybody down. Baby, Raven, hold on, hold tight. Raven is amazing at, she has mastered the art of selling. I watched her all through 2024, okay? Literally master TikTok, master the art of selling by literally being herself, literally closing out and clocking. Do you hear me? Consistently. I'm seeing her all throughout time, literally by just being herself. She literally mastered the art of sales. She don't, from what I see from her, she never got to worry about clocking in nowhere. Never. Because her essence is so strong and it was so captivating and radiating to the people who were in her community and on her live, they couldn't help but to buy. See, you don't have to be out here slaving and chasing and running around looking crazy to get no money. You don't have to be sleeping with men to get no money. See, when you understand that you are currency, you are time, energy, attention, and money, you never have to really worry about it again. You just need to get in alignment. You just need to get in alignment. And you master the art of sales when you understand, again, your value. And when you understand your value, when you understand what your audience desires, sales become effortless. It's easy to sell, y'all. If you have worked for a call center and made them money, if you got one sale, you can make 10,000 sales. The problem is your belief. That's the truth of the matter. It's your belief. When you understand your value, when you're aligned with your value, you are aligned with your audience desires, sales literally become effortless. You're not selling a product because you are the essence that people are buying into. Do you notice when you buy from people a lot of times it's because you like them, because you resonate with them. They are buying into your essence. That's why people be out here buying a bunch of products that don't work, that ain't good, all because they ended up liking the individual. They are buying into your essence. You need to master the art of sales as a feminine woman. You're not selling a product. You are literally offering transformation, because you yourself are a walking transformation, because you've done all of the things that I just explained to you. Your energy does the work before you even speak. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Your energy does the work before you even speak. Before you even speak. There is so much money to be made. People ask me, you got almost 50,000 followers on TikTok. How you feel? I don't feel nothing, because I'm finna go get a bag from YouTube. I'm gonna go get a bag literally by just being myself. I'm gonna go back and get the bag from Facebook. I'm gonna go back and get the bag on Instagram. I'm going to get the bag because I understand my value, my audience needs, and I am a master of the art of selling. And I'm not even in it, and it has nothing to do with scamming. I'm literally being myself and operating from a space of my essence. And that's attractive and that resonates. And not only does it is attractive, not only does it magnetize, magnify, and resonate, but it gets my clients results and rewards. My track record is not a joke. It's not a joke. So when we're talking about why and how burning down your old self activates wealth, you understand the power of your feminine design. You manifest as a woman, understanding your moon cycle. You understand how you personally attract things into your space. You understand the importance of increasing your value because you are an asset. as a queen. You master the duality of your love languages. Okay. You burn your previous identity down to the ground to get out of the rain. You understand? And then you master the art of sales. That is what you do. That is how you're going to start a brand new life. You're going to have the capital. You're going to have the confidence. You're going to have the belief. You're going to have the magnetism. It's going to be real. And here's a bonus. So you can be cute consistently while you do it. I'm telling y'all, I told you I was giving y'all this gift. So number 8, you need to understand these 4 things about yourself as a woman. Let's go. Number 1, you need to understand your face shape. You understand your face shape, you understand what hairstyles, what makeup, and all these different things look really good on you. Number 2, you need to understand your angles, okay? How you look in certain photos, your posture, all those different things. The third thing you need to understand is color theory. So you understand what colors look amazing on you, that brighten your skin up, that make you look just blushed and flourishing and amazing and fly. The fourth thing is understanding your body type. Okay. That right there is your bonus. When you understand, I just gave you the game on literally how to internally completely level up and then turn around how you can make the money. Okay. And then on top of that, how you can look good and feel good while you're doing it. That is my gift to you for this last live that I will be doing on TikTok. Like I said, I am going to be on YouTube starting Monday. That is where you're going to find me. Yes, it is the same name. You can find me on Instagram as well, because I will be doing a lot of information and different things in that. Now, if you don't know how to do these things, if you don't understand the power of your desire, if you don't understand how to manifest as a woman, if you don't understand how you really attract, if you don't understand how to increase your value as a woman, if you don't know the duality of your love languages, or you don't know how to burn your previous identity down, and you don't know how to master the art of sales, then I have a course called the Radiant Muse Revenue System. This is going to activate your inner radiance. I'm teaching you every one of these steps in that course, every single one. The first thing you're going to do is understand the power of your design. You're going to know how to manifest as a woman. You're going to know exactly how you specifically attract. You're going to know how to increase your value. You're going to learn the dualities of the love languages. You're going to also burn your previous identity, and you're going to become a masterful seller of 4-figure deals. That is what is going to happen for you. And with that, you're going to create the reality that you desire, because you can, because you have the confidence, okay? You together, and you got the cash flow. And she can start making the rules because she has now set the standard for herself. And so when you start inviting people into your reality, there's a standard set. And when people can't meet the standard or exceed the standard, they don't get accepted into the club. You understand what I'm saying? You start getting a little bit more choosier because you have cultivated yourself. Okay? Click the link in the bio. The course is called the Radiant Muse Revenue Method. Okay? It's $197. You can get it with Klarna, Affirm, and Afterpay. If you are a woman who is struggling to hit the reset button on her magnetism, there's a course called the Magnetism Reset Masterclass that you can get for $150 that will teach you the basics. If you don't know your cycle, I've been talking about the cycle. If you don't know your menstrual cycle, the 4 phases, please get the Magnetism Reset Masterclass. Please don't be out here in 2025 not understanding what you need to eat for your follicular phase, what you need to be eating for ovulation, what you need to be doing during the time when you're menstruating. Please get that masterclass so you can elevate your mood, okay? Please get that masterclass so you can know how you can start creating revenue generating activities. That cheat code that I told y'all about, the hypothalamus, the pituitary gland, and your ovaries, that connection with your brain to increase your creativity. I'm teaching you how to use that in that course to make money, because you have to align your activities around specific time frames of your cycle. Okay. And then I'm also teaching you how to take that and be able to use that information to improve your health. So if you want to make more money, if you want to start activating those aspects of yourself by activating your magnetism, if you need to work on your mood, your money, and your movement, as in your body, your health, then you need to get the Magnetism Reset Masterclass. If you are struggling in a space of really activating your feminine energy so that you can have the money to create the reality that you desire, and you're tired of out here looking for men to take away your adult responsibilities or your masculine responsibilities, then you need to get the Radiant Muse revenue method. You need to get your own bag. You need to get your own bag. So when you're choosing people to be in your life experience, you actually desire and want them, and not because you need a bag, because that is ridiculous. People know when they're being used. And let me tell y'all something. Don't be out here using people and doing this stuff, because I'm going to tell y'all something. The way the world is going, things and people are going to become more and more savage. Men, there's a lot of unhinged men. I would not be out here taking the money and depending on unhinged men to take care of me. The magnetism course is $150. You can get a recliner firm at Afterpay as well, and it will come directly to your email. So listen to me. Don't be out here trying to take these folks' money and do this stuff. Domestic violence is going to go up because times are hard and people don't know how to activate themselves. SA is going to go up. Please do not position yourself because you don't have money and because you don't understand yourself. Please tap into your gifts, use these courses, and start creating a reality that you desire so that you are not out here pimping yourself. Because I'm telling you, that ain't what you want. Especially the where we going in this society, that is not what you want. Okay. What questions do you guys have for me? You can click the link in the bio to be able to get access to the Radiant Muse revenue system, as well as the Magnetism Reset Masterclass. I do have a 12-week program that is starting on January 21st called the Magnetic Muse. And in that specific program, we are going to be working with certain things specifically. If you want to literally catapult because you are really, really focused on becoming a wealth attraction force, then that community is going to be there for you. Women who leave that community are going to be masters of themselves. They're going to become masters of their emotions. They're going to be masters of what they actually desire for themselves. Okay. They're going to be masters of that money because we're not going to be playing with it. And they're going to be masters of their life experience. And the thing about it is, when you become a master of self, you get to build your own reality. You get to build a brand new life that you truly want, and you have the resources to be able to do that because you literally become walking wealth. Okay. Yes, it will. It becomes walking wealth. All right. Make sure y'all go over there and subscribe to YouTube too, because I'm not going to be on here anymore going live. All right. The duality one is 5. The duality one is 5. And it's mastering your duality of the love languages. Okay. What other questions do you guys have for me? Click the link in the bio to be able to get access. I have loved being on TikTok. It has really, really blessed me to be on this platform and to be able to have supported so many women. Like I said, you want to go over there to YouTube because that is where I'm going to be from this point on. I'm also going to be over there on Instagram, so feel free to go over there on Instagram as well to follow. And I am on Facebook. My name on Facebook is L Antoinette. It is ELLEANTOINETTE. Is it called? Hold on, what you say, baby? Is it called Magnetic Muse on Facebook? No, Magnetic Muse is my 6-week program. I mean, it's my 12-week program. And I also have a newsletter called the Magnetic Muse Letter, and that is for women leaders only. So if you are a woman who's in a position, if you're a business owner, if you have a high level position at your company or your job or something like that, that is for you. It is called the Magnetic Muse Letter. TikTok is going away. I wouldn't leave, but they're going away. So I'm going over to YouTube. Praise the Most High that I was able to um, get monetized and do everything I need to do last year on YouTube. So I will be spending time on that. I actually got on TikTok as a challenge. I challenged myself to become a TikTok guru and to grow my account to thousands, to the thousands, double digit thousands, right? And I did that. So I am going to go to YouTube and challenge myself as well, so I can go over there and really do what it needs to do. So yeah, I'll be on Instagram, YouTube, but my lives and stuff will definitely be on YouTube. Instagram, I'm gonna be dropping gems in my story and dropping a bunch of different stuff and what I have going on. So yeah, are they actually? I remember them saying, yeah, they just made a ruling. The ruling went out yesterday, from my understanding. So yep. going bye bye. It made me sad because I learned how to make all kind of good recipes. I gotta go save all my good recipes now. Hi. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. More praise to the Most High. Congratulations to those who have purchased courses because I can see them coming in. Congratulations. Y'all gonna be making 2025 yours. Because listen, if you are not mastering yourself, baby, you being mastered by somebody else. You might want to master yourself. I try to tell them. Sapri had until today to make a decision. Oh, how was the reset guide sent? Is it emailed as a download for print? Yes. Did you have you already gotten it? You can download it and print it. Have you purchased it already? Are you one of the ones that purchased it, or did you purchase it previously? You're welcome. Yes, girl. Come on over there to YouTube. Yeah, so the way to be able to work with me directly is you would have to work with me in my program. I do offer one-on-ones, but my one-on-ones are $497. When you get that one-on-one with me, if you want to join my higher level program, which is 2,500, what will end up happening is that 400, that 497 will go towards the balance of that 2,500 if you decide to join the program within 30 to 45 days of our session. Okay. Yes, I purchased it. I didn't understand how to find it. Do me a favor, sweetheart, and send me your email address because it should have been in your actual email. And if it's not, I'm going to have my assistant to go ahead and resend it to you, but it's supposed to have been directly in there. But I'll make sure to get you good. So do me a favor, shoot me your email so I can send it to her so she can correct that. Thank you, Maya. Please follow me on YouTube. What I think about therapy, I think therapy is beneficial when you have an excellent therapist. If you have an excellent therapist, I think it's beneficial. Any other questions? Thank you. It's the same name as my name on here, which is FEMERUDITEELLE. Thank you, love. And we signed some. We have two women, and I also only have, excuse me, I only have four more spots for the Magnetic Muse program. I have two women that have already signed up. I just haven't been able to talk about it, but I already have several women who have signed up for the program. So this is going to be really amazing. And in this program, I'm going to be teaching exactly what I taught my clients that went from 5 figures to 6 figures, 6 figures to multi 6 figures, and basically how to grow their businesses and how to create the life that they desire. I've supported my clients in becoming digital nomads, making hundreds of thousands of dollars and more. Because TikTok is going away. Because it's going away. I probably will still post TikToks, but I'm not going to go live on here anymore. It's time for me to go ahead and make that transition. I've been playing with YouTube teas, and I ain't been doing everything I really desire and want to do over there. And I feel like I can now that I can kind of take the time and not solely be focused on TikTok as well. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna miss y'all too. But y'all don't have to miss me, baby. Come on over. Come on over to YouTube. I'm gonna drop them shorts over there and Instagram. Like I said, I'm gonna be on Instagram too. So as much as Instagram get on my nerves, but I'll be over there. Cause my nerve it gets, okay? Jesus. All right, y'all. And also I have some videos on YouTube that I actually just uploaded. So make sure you go check those out. And I will see you guys over there on YouTube. Congratulations, like I said, to those who have purchased courses today. Yeah, so I will see y'all soon over there on YouTube. Peace, y'all. Happy Feminine Friday.